Bro,
Yo,
what's happening, man?
what's up, man?
Hey, we back in the building, bro.
Yes, we are.
Man, I wanna get straight to it this time, man.
All right, what you
Because I
got?
feel like if we don't get straight to it, we're gonna talk about something that's gonna talk about something else. It's gonna talk about something else.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about leadership, like leaders having leaders that will get them to the next level. Like what to look for as a leader, in a leader, to get you to the next level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because leaders need leaders too. What's happening, people? Welcome back to Be More to Do More podcast, where we help you to become the person you need to become to do the things you call to do. Your boy Tone in the building and
Culture exec,
yeah,
aka Henry A Harden
the what?
III.
Don't forget the three. But first, I want to talk about what not to look for. And if you have a leader that have these qualities, then you are probably under the wrong leadership.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Dang.
They won't get you to that next level. You know, it's crazy. So if you want to elevate, you need a leader that's going to do these things. If you don't want to elevate, you need a leader that's going to do these things. Here we go. So what not to look for first? These are out of order. Or should we'll say a leader with no vision.
Okay.
Like if you're
Say it again.
a leader with no vision,
What you mean?
excuse me, a leader that don't know where the company's going or where the organization is going or where they're going overall. You
Yeah.
know, you don't want to lead because how they're going to take you somewhere and they don't know where they're going. So a leader with no vision, if you're under any leadership and they don't have no vision, you're under the wrong leadership. And what does that look like to be under leadership with no vision?
Darkness. You ever seen that Dave Chappelle skit?
Yeah. No.
I gotta put you on Dave Chappelle.
We're gonna we should spend this whole weekend to watch it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's I can talk about the feelings that you feel.
Yeah, let's do that.
Frustration,
Okay.
because like when you have a leader that doesn't have any vision and they're not in tune with, anything that the company is doing, or really, heck, it might be their company, right? And
That's true.
they just keep switching things up and moving things around. So it's like it's hard for you to kind of gather your place in So I think that I think one of the main things it does is, yes, it causes frustration,
Right.
but that frustration causes a lack of productivity.
That's true.
So, in any business, you want to be able to like run fast.
Right.
But if you constantly having a second guess, or, you're not really sure which way to go, if you should go left, go right, like, there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to move not only quickly,
Right.
but also move at all, because it's just so much, fog, if you will, right?
Right.
That you only can go so far. You only can go where your hands can take you, and unfortunately, that's not very far.
That's true. That's true. I like that you said that. No vision when they're all over the place, or not even intentionally all over the place, but they're just really complacent. Or I know in business, just going where the money is, like, and if you do hair and all of a sudden, you're under somebody who do hair and they now changing oil, they just going where the money at. You know what I mean? It just I got some lint on my shoulders, it's bugging me. It's not going to take you anywhere as a leader. You know what I mean? Or in an organization with a leader with no vision. So, yeah, you got anything else on that?
I feel like I do.
Yeah.
Because especially when you were saying that, like, about the leader or the you know, they doing hair, but they doing like you see it, bro. You see it all the time. Like
Right.
what we always talk about. Well, not always, but we talked about what being blank integrated.
Yeah. Vertically integrated.
Vertically integrated.
Yeah.
What does being vertically integrated look like for you?
Vertically integrated means pretty much everything ties into each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you do one thing, then that one thing leads to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing leads to the next thing. So if you sell peanuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your job is to sell peanuts.
Boiled peanuts.
Yeah, boiled peanuts. Now see, I'm talking your language.
Hey.
Now your job is to distribute, but if you're vertically integrated, your job is not only to distribute, but now you can distribute to other peanut boilers or sellers, and you can make the peanuts or pick the peanuts,
Right.
and and sell.
You grow your own peanut.
Grow your own peanuts. So yeah, you pretty much can find a way to make money from the process of selling the peanuts.
Maybe you might start selling your own salt.
Yeah, sell your own salt, your own seasoning. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's that's vertically integrated.
But did you see them? I think you're saying, yo, yeah. But they had soul food peanuts.
Yeah,
boiled
yeah.
peanuts. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's
That
too
was
far,
crazy.
too far, man. But yeah,
But so, I think it's important that once you start to establish your vision, it's okay to like do more than just
right,
doing hair.
right,
But if you're going to do more than doing hair, it needs to align with your, some type of, your industry needs to stay the same.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or be similar.
stay in the
If
same
that
pocket.
yeah.
I can see so say for instance, like if you want to do hair, and you don't want to just do hair for like regular clients, but you want to do hair for like celebrities or podcast.
Right.
And then you also have a skill in makeup. You feel me? Now you can,
Now you're still in that beauty, that beauty space. You just kind of, and it's a lot of companies that do that, right? They start out with one product,
right,
just
right.
one product they have. Is a really good product, but then they need to, and here's the thing too about offering more products to people. What it does is people don't, man, I'm telling you, man, like we underestimate the value of delivering an excellent experience to a customer.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Like it's so undervalued.
Yeah.
Because if we just like, people want to buy from people who they know, like, and trust.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So if I understand that they know my brand, they like it,
Right.
and they trust that I'm going to deliver, and every single time they bought a product from me or service from me,
Right.
I've delivered,
Right.
why would I not offer them more things
That's true.
that they can buy?
That's true.
Like we as creators, or we as, business owners, entrepreneurs, even leadership, right? Like,
Right.
and I always say this too, right? Like, and I've done this more lately, is keeping the vision in front of people's face.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
But yes.
Not just like my vision,
Right.
or the company, like like what do they see for themselves?
Okay. So hold that point, and let's go into what you need to look for in a leader now to get you to that next level, to have vision. And that's one of the things you do is put the vision in front of the people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you have to put the overall vision,
Okay.
right? You got to most certainly you have to do that, right? Like,
Right.
That way they know where they're going.
Right.
And then you can even talk about, like, if depending on your relationship with your people, but like you can even talk about what you want to get out of the deal.
Right.
But ultimately it's gonna matter what they want to get out of it. And every time they show you
Right.
that they're not, they do something that is not in line with what they say they want, you got to remind them.
That's true.
Do you really love your kids? Man, I thought you said you wanted to retire. No, I thought you said you want to retire your husband.
Right.
I thought you said you want to sit him down.
Retire your husband.
Why you? What? You sleeping? What you taking a nap in the middle of the day for? Like, you tired.
Right.
You need to go home. You know, like
Right.
what we doing right now? It's game time. It's go time. You can't.
Yeah.
So you just have to like keep it in front of their mind of like what they say they want.
That's true. The vision. Yeah.
The vision, man.
So keep the vision. So, and their vision.
Yep.
I like that, man. So yeah, and I think that's a key factor to motivate the people who's following you. But also, if your leader is keeping your vision in front of you, that shows a sign that they are interested in motivating you and have your best interest at heart and not selfish.
Yeah. One thing I'm learning is to build my calendar out 3 months at a time.
Oh, 3 months? Oh yeah. That's
Like,
yeah.
because I used to like, you know, because our business changes so much. So I used to do it like a week at a time. Like I kind of know what I want to get accomplished.
Right.
But that week before, that's when I really like plan it out. Right.
Right.
You know, more recently I've been doing everything 30 days in advance.
Okay.
Right. Which is cool, you know. But now that I like getting even more advanced, though, like, because again, when he talks about moving the vision forward, if people also understand that this meeting is going to happen or this conversation is going to happen or
Right.
whatever it is, they can even be better prepared.
That's true.
And what they bring to the table
Right.
to ultimately help the productivity. Can I talk about, right? Like, like, you know, where there's no vision, productivity is you know,
Well, there's no vision, productivity perish.
Oh, there's no vision, productivity pairs. That is a be more to do more proverb.
I mean, yeah, we inspired by the Bible. Go ahead.
But that'd be kind of dope if we had like a little book of like different sayings we kind of came up with.
Man, vertically integration.
Man. Yeah. That's what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Like, dang, you know what? I really enjoy their podcast. Like, oh, boom, I got that journal. Man, I really enjoy this journal. Oh, they got a daily affirmation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like proverb that they say, like, oh man, yeah, you know.
Bags. Right.
You know what I'm saying? It all goes together.
I like it.
It all goes together. So
that's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be out here, man.
Okay.
Be thinking.
Thought leader, my boy.
Thought leader, you know. So
thought leader out here, bro.
That's what they call me.
Yeah, man. So cool, man. So have vision. If you're looking for a leader to get you to the next level, be sure that they have vision. Make sure they put that vision in front of you. When you have vision, you mentioned something that I kind of want to touch on. When they have vision and they begin to elevate in one productivity or in one product or service, and then they start adding on more stuff, like the more the company or organization elevate, the higher you go too. Yep. You see what I'm saying? And you know, that's the reward of being a visionary or having a leader that's a visionary. So be sure to have a leader with vision.
Yeah, where there's growth, there's opportunity.
Right. Yes.
So
yes.
If the organization is growing as a whole, you have to remember too, and this is why, you know, that means more for you than for anybody else, because you probably one of their day ones.
Right.
Or you there before the next person, right? So, and if you help, you know, change a outcome,
right,
there's a good chance that you're gonna get rewarded for it, you know, down the line.
That's true.
You know, you have to be intentional,
right,
with saying what you want, and you know, and really be, you know, vocal about it, right? Because sometimes people will just string you along.
Right.
You got some leaders, man, that just they don't care nothing about you.
Wait.
They don't care. I mean, not saying they don't care about you like that, but like they got so many different things that they're juggling that like you getting a raise,
yeah,
is not at the top of their mind.
Well, this is gonna bring me to number 2 though.
Okay.
Gotta say it, man. A leader that. One thing to look for in a leader.
Why you got so much hesitation? What's wrong, man?
I got to figure out how to put it. One thing to look for in a leader. If you see this in your leader, then you're under the wrong leadership.
Right.
A leader who can't see past themselves. a selfish leader.
Mm-hmm.
So if you under a leadership that is selfish, they can't see past themselves, then you're under the wrong leadership. Now, I'm gonna give you a premise to this. I was praying this past week, and the Lord brought to my attention something. He was telling me, when I tell you something, go do it. And he was saying, don't ask for permission. And what I mean by this, sometimes the Lord would tell us things, and then we'll be like, I think I should be doing. And then we'll go tell our friend, hey, I'm finna start doing this, and then you'll wait to see what their response will be.
Get that dopamine fix.
You know what I mean? Girl, that's a good idea.
Right.
I don't know about that. And when they say that, then you just cancel the plan altogether. You cancel something that God is telling you doing. But when we do that, we are subconsciously looking for permission. So I was going to post this, right? And I did post it. And, you know, there was a combative thought. And I know who it was. It was the adversary saying, okay.
The adversary.
The adversary.
Okay.
We know who that is. Saying, okay.
You know who that is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What if you tell somebody to do something without permission, right? And they coach say, well, you need to come to me first to check with me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was another response. It was like two on my shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the coach should already see that before they did.
Mm.
If they can't see it, it's a problem.
Mm.
If they can't see this is what I'm calling them to, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is they can't see past themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the wrong, if your leadership can't see past themselves, you're on the wrong leadership, because one, it is blocking them from seeing the vision that God has given them for you.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Because when we coach people, we are held responsible,
Right.
to get you to a level in which God has called you to get to. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in business, whether it's in your job or whatever, we are held responsible for that. So he will give us insights on the people that we're leading. So if you're leading a person with no vision or no selflessness, then that person will be stagnant, and then you are held responsible for that. So the person have to be selfless. If your leader is not selfless, if they can't see past themselves, then you're on the wrong leadership. Just point blank period, because they can't see what God has placed in you.
Yeah. When you have somebody that's a selfish leader, man, it's trouble. It's trouble. It's one of the. Again, it's like sometimes it's not even that they're trying to be selfish. They're just wired that way.
Yeah.
Right. Like
yeah.
everybody's not wired to lead it. Because here's the reality, right? Like here's the reality. Most businesses were started because somebody was really, really good at something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And because they were really, really good at it, more people wanted to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So it forced the owner to be able to expand.
Right.
Right. So now they needed other people that could explain or facilitate what the company was about, what the company had going on, right?
Right.
Whatever it is, right? Right. So sometimes you have people, especially when you look at if you were to hire a sales manager, what would you want your sales manager to have?
Sales experience.
Sales experience,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, but just because they have sales experience doesn't mean they have leadership experience.
That's true.
And selling and leadership is very, very different things.
Most definitely.
Right?
Definitely, yeah.
So when you have somebody that has sales experience but not necessarily leadership experience, you may run into a situation where they're so focused on numbers and driving and whatever, that it's all about them and what they've done, because that's what they've done their whole life.
Right.
They only talked about them. And so because let's be real, right? Like selfishness is not just a work thing. they're probably selfish in their own life.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, so.
But you don't want to be under that leadership.
Nah, heck no. Heck no.
And my question is too, to corporate companies, why would you put that person in the leadership role if they are not inclined to other people and other people's success?
Why do people get hired?
I mean, because they're good at what they do.
Are they? Is that why people get hired?
What you mean?
Is every person that got hired good at what they do?
No. You can learn it.
What happened in banking?
What you mean with me?
Yeah.
I lied.
No. No.
We ain't going back to banking.
No. I'm saying, no, because you said you was talking about the corporate piece.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to do whatever.
Yeah.
Why did somebody else get promoted before you did?
What you mean?
You were up for a promotion, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get it, right?
When? Hold on. When? Oh, what? It's we're talking about two different careers here, man. We don't want to get back into my banking, man.
Okay, maybe we went banking. Whatever. You were up for a promotion. You didn't get a promotion, right?
Right.
Somebody else got it.
Okay.
Why?
You talk. I'm lost. I don't know.
It doesn't have to be banking. Just in general.
I don't know why. Because they was good at what they did.
No.
What?
Didn't somebody get a spot? He was like, I don't know why they hired this guy, but he ended up being good at it. Cody or something like that.
Cody? Nah, you mixing all of my past experience.
It may not wasn't banking. It was what was the dude's name? It wasn't Cody.
No, we name his name.
Brett.
We drop. Oh, to my manager. I don't know, man. But let's divert because I don't want to get caught off guard there. But what I'm saying is that if the salesperson is not inclined to, like, if all they do is think about, they may be good at numbers and sales, but the leadership piece, they may not be inclined or able to think past themselves or look past themselves. Mm-hmm. But they put them in leadership because they're good at sales. Mm-hmm. How can you can train somebody on how to do numbers, but that don't necessarily mean that that person is going to receive the training well.
Right.
Because here's the thing. If a person is selfish, they look at themselves like, yo, I'm the man. I'm better than you. Mm-hmm. To some degree, subconsciously. So what if you're training me and I now become better as good as you, and now I'm ready for promotion? What does that look like?
Sabotage.
You feel me?
Yeah, we can't let him get it.
Yeah, nah, bro. Like now, okay, I'm my numbers, I'm doing good.
Right.
You know, what does that look like now? Because you can't see past yourself. Mm-hmm. Like now you're blocking me and what God is calling me to do because you can't see past yourself. I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying, bro.
Damn, that was good.
Man, thing keep my shirt, bro. Anyway, man. So leaders have to be selfless to some degree. I'm not saying you got to be Jesus. I know I'm minister.
Give your life. Just go ahead and give it all.
I mean, yeah, give your life to Jesus Christ.
Just go ahead and die for the team.
Die for the team? Oh, yeah. I know I'm minister and all, but listen, man, you got to have some selflessness. Your leader have to have some selflessness. You know, you mentioned something before. You say, I'm going to give you your vision that you told to me. That's a selfless act because you're not thinking about your vision. Although the trade for your success is their success, but you're still being selfless because, hey, I'm giving you back your vision. I want to help you get to this place. You see what I'm saying? Like, I see it in you. I want to coach you in this. And I think that people can receive instructions better once they see their own vision and once they see you coaching them from that place or that perspective. I think people can receive it better. So, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. That's all you got. I agree.
Yeah, no, you hit it right on the head. Like,
okay.
100%.
We're going on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go on to the next one. Man, we rolling on this one, man. Let's see what to look for in a leader. If you're under the wrong leadership, you will look for this too. Henry came up with this one. I love it though. Incompetent. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Incompetent.
Yeah, incompetent leader.
If you have an incompetent leader, it's not the right leader.
Yeah.
They may have vision. They may be selfless. But if they're incompetent, they don't know how to get you there. So, yeah.
You driving without a driver license. You don't know. You out here just.
Oh man.
Just doing what you want to do.
Man.
Nah, it ain't gonna work. Because like, and this is especially when you have when you're a high performer.
Right.
Like, if you got somebody that you know more than they know,
right, it's
very hard for you to respect that person.
That's true.
You know, like,
right.
Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, man, like, how do I get this person to, or how do I get to my next level when I can't learn from this person?
That's true. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, skillful in that sense. But you know what else I was thinking?
What you thinking?
I don't know. Maybe something you was telling me or you told me. But it reminded me of something going back to my banking career. Since banking is just my banking career we're gonna dissect this here on what and what not to do. But I don't know if you said it, but how you would take someone and move them to another place to. I remember one of my managers.
Hold on, what about it? It's moving to another place and what?
Like you would leverage, like you have the skill on how to get someone promoted. You see what I'm saying? Because some leaders don't know how to get somebody promoted. Like, I'm gonna just give you my example. Maybe you can remember. So I remember when I first got promoted to a banker, my first banking career when I first started. Yeah, I was at the slowest branch. But my manager, shout out to Dot if she's watching this. I love her.
Dot.
Hey, yeah. But anyway, man, everybody love Dot, man. But anyway, when I first started, our branch was really slow, like slow. So I couldn't get any numbers or anything. So, but she did notice that, I was taking customers and I was getting sales or whatever. I went over, we had another branch right across the street. That was the busy branch. It was crazy, bro. It was weird. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It was weird. But it was another branch right across the street. And the branch I was at was the bigger branch. It's crazy.
It's just, you just never know what people, why people do what they do.
Yeah. Why they
Not even the company, just why, well, yeah, no, actually, it is the company. Like, why would we put a place right across? It's like putting two McDonald's just because that McDonald's busy. Like, put them right across the street.
It didn't make sense to me either.
I'm sorry.
Customers used to ask, why is there two such and such? I don't know, man.
Maybe they bought somebody out though. Maybe it was a situation where they bought this bank and so happened to have a location.
Might have been because I think, yeah, it might have been. So she sent me over there for a day. I went over, I killed it, man. So the branch manager wanted me over there. I was like, nah, I want to stay with you, Dot, because everybody love Dot, right? Shout out to Dot. But the only way you able to get promoted for the sake of your numbers if you go over there and show out. So she sent me over there to leverage so that I can get promoted. That was a selfless act and the skill and the know-how to get me to the next level because she knew that she was like, it'll be easy for you to get promoted over there.
Yep.
I know so it was the skill. Like, she knew that I can get the numbers over there, and she knew, like, with her recommendation and my numbers and stuff like that, the leverage was there, man.
Yeah, people underestimate the value in, like, working at different locations or different branches in your situation, right? Like, that experience that you're going to get somewhere else, especially at a busier place,
right,
is going to be invaluable not only just for you at the moment to get to your next level, but in your career as a whole. Right. I think about it too, right, where my career could have been a lot different, right, had I worked in a bigger store than I was at one store before I got promoted to a BM manager.
Right.
So when I got to my second store, I'm just learning like just all these different things.
Right.
But I would have been set up for even more success had I been able to, get that opportunity.
Right.
Now, here's the reality of it too, though.
Okay.
I didn't care to go to another store at that time. Like,
right.
And that's where that's why I get on to my managers about. It's just like one, anytime you go to, like, just like you talked about what you did,
right? You
absolutely crushed it. They almost like dang, they recruited you,
right,
to come over there, right? Like we want everybody to feel like that about our people. Like we want, like, man, they came over here, they were, doing this, doing that, they moved this, they did this for the brand. Like, that's what we want to be able to see, right? Like, it's almost like your audition.
That's true.
you know?
Yeah.
And, but sometimes, like, our leadership, if something goes wrong, we pacify it.
Oh, okay.
Instead of, no, this is part of the business.
Right.
Every place you walk into is not going to be, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
It may not be, they may not be as organized as it is here.
Right.
The environment may be a little bit different than it is here. Their processes may be slightly, different than it is here.
Right.
But does that mean that it's a bad place?
No.
No.
And that's what I like about the skill part. Like, as a leader, because I do remember that instant, but I do remember, man, what leader was this? It might have been my last leader at the last bank I left. It'd be like, for an example, yo, you want to be a manager? I'm going to help you. I want you to go to Sandy Springs and sit under Brad, because Brad knows the process. And then I want you to spend a week there at Brad. Then when you go to Brad, I want you to go over here to Roswell to go sit with Sandy. She's really good with customer service and how to escalate problems. And then after that, I want to send you over here because they know how to, like, managers that will put you in position and have the skill to win and then leverage that. Like, I love that, bro.
And I know we was talking about it before, about like finding your what is it? We were talking about not accountability. What was it?
Was it
purpose? Not purpose.
Purpose, accountability.
The episode burnout. It's about burnout.
Oh, burnout. Yeah, burnout.
And we was talking about and we were talking about doing what you love to do,
right?
Or what you do and how you do. But sometimes the best managers,
right,
they get their team well rounded.
Yeah.
So like they may be, you may be excellent with dealing with customers,
right?
But you struggle on, making sure customers pay,
right,
right, or having a difficult conversation about, a customer maybe, not returning or having something in the same condition. Maybe they broke something. Right. You struggle with that. So a good manager is gonna, like, when those situations arise, they have that employee have that conversation with that particular client or customer. Right. So that way, when they get into a spot, they have the skill necessary to be successful.
See, and that all ties under skills, man. So make sure you got a leader with skills and a competent 100%. Leader who know how to put you in positions to win. So I like that. I think we got one more. Yeah, man. And that's unethical. If your leader is unethical, you're under the wrong leadership, bro. You need to switch it up, man. You need somebody who has, I just learned something new today, good morals.
Yeah.
I was going to say, not morale, but morals.
Good morals might be number one, to be honest with you. Keep it a buck.
Actually, I wanted to put that number one, but I didn't know how this pod was gonna go. But morals definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you go first.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean,
I ain't got nothing, so I ain't got no more. I'll just I'll just play. Go ahead, bro.
but yeah, man, like
I think, bro, if I was to work with you though, let me say this. If I was to work with you, I think you like slick by the books. Like I think you would be like really by the book.
you know why?
You are?
I'm black and I'm not black and white because there's a lot of gray in our business.
Okay.
But I do things the right way for the right
By the
reasons.
books, right.
Why though? Why do you think that is?
Your process.
I am process oriented, but that's not why.
I don't know, man.
I'm an African American man.
They had to get.
I'm gonna just be real, bro. Like I'm gonna just be real, right? Like there's some things that other people could potentially get away with.
Wow.
Because I don't, and that is the other, and it's not necessarily about color, right, or race. It's more so about how I communicate.
Right.
I'm not. I'm working on becoming a better finesser, if that makes sense. Because sometimes people, the way somebody explains something,
right.
Well, I can see why you did that.
Right.
But if I explain something, sometimes I explain something, I'm like, no, this is just what it is.
Right.
There's more to the story.
Yeah.
But I ain't finna go through all that. Like I'm not finna.
Yeah.
No, this is what it is. This is what we did. This is like take it or leave it. But some people are gonna polish that thing up, make it sound good, and it's gonna be like, empathy. Let me show you some empathy. Oh, right. Choose violence.
Oh man.
But no, man. All seriousness though, man. Like sometimes that is the case though, where I guess I kind of grew up a little scary too.
Yeah.
You know, like like I don't want to get in trouble for real.
Nah, for real. Nah, makes sense.
You know, I remember thinking about that boss man D-Lo. He's like, it was like I was bad in school. Now I'm trying to dodge a sentence. I feel like that translates, right? Like the people that are, you know, are rebels.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get caught.
Yeah, that's true.
It always happens. Like, you know.
Yeah. I think I'm just like you, bro. I think because I feel like I'm gonna get caught that I won't do it. Even if I did it and felt like I was gonna get caught, I got caught. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Yeah.
Ever tell you the story about me and Meatball? We was at Wild Adventures, and we had these girls we was talking to, and we had went to this little closed off section, and then maybe like 5-10 minutes, somebody had kind of came back there,
right,
and we had took off, and I'm like, okay, how do we get out of this? Like, how do we get out of this without getting in trouble for real, you know?
Right.
And I was like, and it was because like the way Wild Adventures was at the time, you couldn't just like run out the park. Right. Like you had to like, because they had people at security gate. Yeah. They know what you had on. They had the little walkie-talkies, right? You've been to a theme park. I mean, yeah. So, Wild Adventures is a theme park. My bad.
Yeah. No, I know it. Yeah.
So it's like either we just hide out until they just like stop looking for us and hope that it gets, or we just like, you know what, it is what it is. We weren't doing nothing, you know, illegal. Right. You know, so, you know, bump it. You know, so I was like, and I'd rather get caught and explain than have him get caught. You know, so and and I did y'all get caught? Like it was just I'd rather embrace it than like running, being more, you know, I just rather hit something head on. Right. Like, okay, cool. They know where we're gonna get out of this. I'm gonna just hit it head on. Right. Cool. I'll take the responsibility for it.
So you the type of brother you'll turn yourself in, won't you?
That's why I don't do nothing illegal. I'm just not built that way. I'm like I'm gonna
go turn myself in.
Because I'm like J. Cole. I live a very peaceful life.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I sleep real good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. Nah.
Right.
No.
I think having an ethical leader, it always translate over too.
Mm-hmm.
And although I'm saying that, you know, my reason for being ethical is because I fear, but more so, you know, I had ethical leaders too, you know, that showed me the good fruits of having good morals.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that having a leader with good ethics, who have good morals, is really good because, all in all, it adds to your character, and your character adds to your reputation, and your reputation goes far.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good because people can trust you. You're trustworthy. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So
we don't trust you. Trust you.
Oh man. So yeah, we got some
Sneak this and I don't understand, dog.
You got some of that?
We can do lyric of the day.
What we got?
Lyric of the week.
Wait. All right, what we got?
Lyric of the week.
All right.
Graduated from a rebel to a revolutionary.
All right.
And what I mean by that,
Okay.
you probably are my doobies out there.
Doobies.
All my doobies out there.
Doobies. You look like you about to sing, bro.
Hey, I can hold a note now. I can hold a note.
Don't do it because I can't back you up, bro.
So my doobies out there, you frustrated right now because either you got a leader that's incompetent, has no morals, is what's the other two?
No vision.
They ain't got no vision.
Selfish.
And they selfish. You probably got all four. Or you might have one of the four.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do? You rebelling out there. You dang on. You ain't showing up to work on time. You ain't doing what you're supposed to do every day. I challenge you to turn into a revolutionary.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a situation where you are, not doing not doing what you need to do, doing your part. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what your leader does, you have a part to play.
Nah, that's true.
In this, right?
Right.
So, regardless of what's going on or which one of these four things that they're missing, you got to show up every day.
Nah, that's true.
And you got to be a revolutionary. And what a revolutionary does, think about a Revolutionary War.
Oh man, that's deep in itself.
Yeah. Like, it's on you to free yourself.
Nah, that's true.
Period.
That's true.
So instead of being a rebel and rebelling against the system, hey, do what you can to fit in. Get in where you fit in. That's what we call it, right?
Get in where you fit.
Get in where you fit in, and it's gonna work out. Be a revolutionary. Be the. And this is, and I'll tell you this too, Tone. I think this is my last thing. I think.
Okay.
I am the leader I am today because of the people that led me.
Amen.
Both good and bad.
Amen. Hey.
I had some great leaders.
Right.
And I had some terrible leaders.
Right. Yes.
And one of the things that I had a terrible leader, I almost got fired based on this person's leadership.
Wow.
They had me doing all kind of unethical stuff. I ain't know no better. Shoot. I'm incompetent. I ain't know no better.
Oh my God, man. Man.
Corporate came down.
Oh, corporate came.
Oh, it was, And I ain't snitched.
Wow.
That's the crazy part about it, right?
Wow.
Because it wasn't at that point, it's not about me. So it's like.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like, hey, I just did what I was told, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. So luckily I got a slap on the wrist, but
that's what's up.
But the reality of it though, man, is like, cause I didn't know, like I thought it was cool. Like I thought it was, but our culture is, this is one of the things, like, I don't know, maybe this is so off topic, but like the no snitching thing, like we live by these street codes in corporate America.
Yeah, bring the street codes to corporate, man.
It just don't. I ain't gonna say it don't work because I guess it worked out in my situation, but like,
nah, man, because for real,
just
you gonna slick think it's an unfair game when really you playing the wrong game.
you're playing the wrong game.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But you said a lot there, and
My bad.
I just no, you good. I just wanted to reiterate. If you're under a leadership and you're looking to get promoted or get to that next level, be sure that they have vision. Be sure that they're selfless. Be sure that they're competent. Be sure that they're ethical and have morals. If you don't have a leader with those, my man said something key, then you become the leader that have these qualities. Learn from the good and learn from the bad so that you can become an ultimate leader. And also write it down. Get a journal and write it down. I always got to bring the journal back in there, man.
Always, man.
Make sure
It's
y'all
valuable.
get that right here. What am I doing right? Leadership journal. Make sure y'all get that on Amazon. What am I doing right? WRITE. What am I doing right? Leadership journal, man. And pick that up. And what you got?
That's all I got.
Okay, well, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell, man. Let's get this information out of here. We're out.
Last time you told somebody, keep their head up, cause you concerned about them. Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy, we don't play about them. Going hard for the game, showing.